All right, welcome to a very special edition of Too Punk to Be a Podcast. Very, very different night tonight. We're not doing not so much punk. It's a not so punk issue this time, but we are ranking every Alice Cooper album. As I've said many times, Alice has become my favorite artist these days. My more later years, and just love Alice Cooper. Me and Jose talk about him all the time. I got notes falling out of my notes, and so we talk about Alice all the time, and yeah, Jose had an amazing idea to rank every album. So that's what we're gonna do. I appreciate that. I had so much fun with this. I also drove myself completely insane, but
Oh yeah.
it was a fun time, man. So that's what we're gonna do. 29 albums we're about to cover, people.
29 albums.
So, guess we better get started. Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, before we get started, Alice Cooper is punk rock for a lot of people who don't know.
Fuck yeah, he is, man. He
You know,
influenced a
without
lot of
Alice
punk rock,
Cooper, the
especially with the
Beatles,
look. Yep.
Sex Pistols among those bands. A lot of those UK bands from the second wave and later first wave were influenced by Alice Cooper. So very important to this scene of ours.
Yep. Definitely important.
Whether yeah, I just gotta say, but yes, I'm ready when you are. So you want to start it off? You want me to start it off?
Who starts off with dead last? I'll go, I guess.
All
That
right.
way
You
you
want
can
me to do
finish
my
off
dead
the whole
last?
show. Huh?
Gotcha. No, you go ahead.
All
I
right.
want to see what you got.
You said you said that you were wondering where you were going to rank this, and I'm like, dead fucking last is where. I don't have it, so can't show you. But I'm going with number 29 to be Welcome to My Nightmare. To me, it's just the worst. Kesha's on here, and the Kesha song on it is the best song on it, and that tells you a lot. Uh, I just found it hard to get through. The fact that they even named this "Welcome to My Nightmare," what is another one of those bad examples of a
For
great
anyone,
band claiming that they're going to do 70s stuff again, and it just falls on its face. I don't know. I'll never say an Alice Cooper album sucks, but this one tries pretty hard.
emphasis emphasis for all the listeners. Welcome to
Two,
my nightmare.
two, My
To
Nightmare.
yep, from 2011.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, when Cash is the high spot, that's not good.
I got the years. Oh boy, more on that later.
Yeah, I figured.
My number 29 is gonna piss a lot. My number 29 is gonna piss a lot of people off.
Okay.
My number 29 is Killer.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. This
No,
is
I'm fucking
ridiculous.
with you.
You're
No, it's
trolling.
not Killer.
Trolling.
My number, no, it's not Killer. No, it's not.
I
My
kind
number
of
29
expected you to do that.
for real,
All right.
is Constrictor, man, from 19.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't like this album. This is the this is the, this is the only Alice Cooper album I have a hard time listening to. It's his comeback record. I just feel like everything before and everything after literally is better than this. This is just kind of there. I think I picked two songs that I really love. I love Teenage Frankenstein. That's an all-time classic. And The World Needs Guts is a really great song off the side for me. But everything else, never been a fan of He's the Man. He's back the man behind the mask, which was
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, part
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, behind the mask, man.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of that song. I appreciate it. It's Alice Cooper's first sober release. Not a very good one, I don't think.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too much further soon. It'll be soon. It'll be soon. It's on this page. Put it that way. 28. This one I will piss you off with. I know that. But there's a reason, man. So I do have this one. Number 28 for me, and I think I don't like this one, is the Zipper Catches Skin. From the Blackout era, which I adore, and that's why this is ranked so low. It comes from such a great era. It should be so much better. Technically, there's worse albums, but I'm taking points off because, like I said, it comes from an era I love. This is the worst album
too.
from classic kind of Alice Cooper to me. It has two of his worst songs. The fucking Scrooge song and Zorro. God, what are we doing? This is awful. Like
I like Zorro's instead.
going in a blackout like
like
he
that song.
did, going in a blackout like no, those are terrible. Going in a blackout like he did can lead to some masterpieces. You know, being that messed up can make you make some great music. And we get to that a whole lot later for both of us. But then sometimes being that messed up just kind of gives you bad albums, and that's what this is to me. Yeah, I can't. This album is so hard to get through. I was so excited because I was going through the blackout stuff, and I'm like, oh man, more. And I got this one, and I was like, boy, this is actual bad. This is a cutout band record. Somebody brought this back, and I don't blame them. And I was dumb enough to buy it, of course, because I'm buying everything I can of him. Yeah, I don't like that one. It's bad to me. Zipper catches skin.
More,
No.
more on that later.
Yeah, I figured.
My number 28, I'm going with
Probably way later.
Kind of. I think it's my number 28. Everything from 28 up, I actually really like. I think this is a solid album, but it still hasn't sunk in yet. My number 28 from 2021, I'm going Detroit Stories.
Okay.
I think this is a very solid. I think it's a very solid album. Now, mind you, it's 28 because everything else before this, I kind of got right away. Either that or I had many years invested into these albums. Detroit Stories is not bad. I dig it. It's a very solid album. I had to put it somewhere, so it's my number 28. I can't say anything much other than from this point forward, I love everything, or I pretty much like everything that he's done. Some I even love, but I like this album. What do you think?
Yeah, Detroit's good. I'm getting there later. Won't be too long. It's a modern album. I understand if it's low.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, my number 27. I don't have it because it's expensive and so rare. It's not even on the streaming stuff. I had to go to YouTube for this one. And I'm going with Eyes of Alice Cooper. Not bad, like I said, I had to go to YouTube. Nothing really great there. Just seems uninspired, kind of bland to me. And it's just kind of there. It's one of those modern albums. Some of these modern albums you could just flip flop, and I don't know if I'd really notice. It's just is what it is. It's got some moments, but I don't know. Eyes of Alice Cooper, I'm just gonna put way down here somewheres.
Yeah.
So that's where it's at.
That one shortly. That was your number 27?
Yes, sir. 27. So we're going to your 27. I'm trying to write them down so I can compare lists after.
My number 27, we're gonna go back to the beginning. Produced for You.
Really?
1969. Yeah, I don't mind this album. I like this album. Produced by Frank Zappa.
Zappa era.
You don't know. And yeah, I love Frank Zappa. This is very different for Alice Cooper. I had to rank it somewhere. I said, I'm a big fan of debut, but maybe higher. We'll see what in a couple of years if I want to revisit this or not. But for now, it's 27. Solid album for what it is. I like it. I like it. What do you think?
It's super weird, so I love it. It's gonna run around middle of the pack for me, probably. Spoiler, but yeah, I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna put modern albums above it. But I get that it's weird and stuff. I'll get to it later. It's psychedelic Beatles worship. Actually, it's kind of like Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Pink Floyd worship, more like. We'll get to that.
Which I love that album.
That's why I love it. So Pretty's for You is a little more bumped up for me. Because my bottom of my list is stuff like number 26 here, which is Paranormal. I don't have it because again, expensive. And no, more modern stuff, not that great. I like the song Fireball. That's it. I liked a discernible song on it, so it was better than the other one so far.
Yeah. That one's coming up shortly.
Yeah.
So my number 26 was my number 24, but it got bumped down at the last. No, my number 26. My number 24. Now I got at the last night. I'm gonna go pretty dance for 26.
Was that
It's okay. My number 26, Dirty Diamond.
Dirty Diamonds? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, Dirty Diamond.
We might have to pause and fix your audio a little bit, man.
Dirty.
Yeah. I tell you what, we're going to pause right here and we're going to handle some stuff and be right back. Thank you. All right, now we're back. Jose's back in the year 2000 with his stuff, except for that. Well, that probably is year 2000, actually.
Yeah.
All right, so we were at number 26 back when your audio sucked, and Dirty Diamonds is where you were. I for some reason thought you was going to put that higher. A lot of people like that album a lot.
No, it's okay. It was my number 24, but it got bumped down a couple spots. That was the last minute executive decision. So 26 is Dirty Diamonds. It's
All
okay.
right.
I like it.
Okay.
I like others better. So it could flip flop at this point.
Awesome. Cool. We got number 25.
25, yeah.
All right, so 25. I put Along Came a Spider. It's better than like some of the modern albums. I just like this one a little more. Nothing really good or bad. Kind of a good background album. I don't know. Just another one of those modern albums that just kind of I like for some reason I was listening to them for those couple of days, and this one just kind of stood out above the rest of them to me. Although I can't really name one song or another.
Yeah.
That's why all this stuff is just down there. Those interchangeable albums from back in those days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Along Came a Spider. It sounded pretty good. And that probably goes kind of heavier. So that was cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty rocking.
Good. Pretty rocking, yeah. Classic Alice Cooper by the Numbers. I agree.
So it's down there, hanging out.
Number 25, you already mentioned Paranormal, 2017.
Okay.
Again, classic Alice Cooper by the Numbers. You're number 24.
Yeah. 26. I had that 26th.
Yeah. No, what's your number 24?
My number 24. Oh boy. We're going classic era here, sadly, but again, I just never liked this album. These next couple might upset some peoples. I feel like a lot of people don't like this album. Oops, shit, I'm about to drop it. I'm going with Goes to Hell. Some people love this album. I've heard a lot of people just kind of meh with the whole thing. I'm one of those folks. I put this on so many times just to try to like it, and I just never do, man. It's just one of those things. Guilty is a good song. There's good stuff on it. But yeah, I don't know. Just one of those albums. It's like I said, it's one of those albums I've just always put on, like maybe this time, and it just never quite clicks with me. So I put it way down there. That's Goes to Hell.
I Never Cry.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Very disco-y. I agree.
Yeah.
More on that one later.
Guilty's the one I like on that album.
Yeah. More on that one later.
Sure.
Number 24 was 26. It got bumped up a couple spots. I think you already mentioned it. The Eyes of Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
2003. Yeah. Classic Alice Cooper by the Numbers. Once again, all these albums are interchangeable.
Pretty much.
We're slowly starting to creep up to the stuff I really, really dig. But yeah, 24 is Eyes of Alice Cooper. You're number 23.
Y'all gonna be so disappointed on me, but I've already said I didn't like this one that much, and I know classic. It's a unique album. It's so cool, but from the inside, I told you guys, 23. There's just stuff coming up I like more. Classic Letdown. I call this one delightfully weird.
I had to take off my glasses for that one.
The only reason this is above everything I've mentioned before, it has great stories behind the songs. I get all that. Again, it's just one of those albums I always put on just to hope I like it more, and I don't. I traded this album before I started collecting every Alice Cooper album. I traded this off to Ralph. I got a Thrash or Die record. No, anyway, it doesn't matter. Got a record in return. And then by the time I started recollecting Alice Cooper records, I bought it again. And so I'm like, well, maybe this time. And I listened to it again and again. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't do it for me. Never has. Kind of like welcome to hell. Kind of like goes to hell. Yeah, number 23 for me. Yeah, from the inside's a no. I know it's classic. Everybody's gonna love it.
It's a
Way
kick
down
in the
there.
nuts for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
More,
I don't
no,
like
it's
it.
okay. It's your list.
It sounds
More on that.
weird. I don't like
More,
it.
more on that much later.
I don't. Yeah. I figure.
More on that much later. My
Yeah,
number 23, you already mentioned,
maybe
is
one day.
Welcome to
Oh man,
My Nightmare.
this is way
Welcome,
high.
welcome to My Nightmare. I know it's very high. I see what he was doing. I'm not going to compare it to Welcome to My Nightmare because that's sacrilege, but it's okay. I didn't find it terrible. I did when it came out, but
Yeah.
after it's been like over 10 years that I've had investing into this album, it's okay. For now, it's going to be my number 23.
Okay.
For right now, yes, I do like it better than Dirty Diamonds. It's kind of blasphemous to say, but that's just me.
Okay.
Welcome to My Nightmare is my number 23.
Oh
So
man, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean it's not egregious. It's not like what I did to From the Inside, but
no,
I wouldn't put Welcome that high. That's okay.
no one near
So
close to what you did to
now
that album.
we get to number 22 for me, and as you already mentioned, I'm gonna put Constrictor right here. I like the 80s stuff. I gotta say, going through this in the concept of ranking albums, they don't rank well. So and this is Harry stuff, so I kind of figured you'd have that stuff low. I understand that. Throw My Gorilla, what the fuck? Right?
Horrible song.
Another fucking Frankenstein song. Oh my god, like we need any more of those.
I
Although I think it was
I,
the first one. It was the first one, but still, no.
I love Teenage Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's a good
I love
song,
that.
but goddamn, there's too many of them. Like I said, overall, I like it. I like the 80s stuff better than everything I've listed so far. But that was just not great. It's the worst of that stuff for sure.
I like the 80s stuff too. Notice I haven't mentioned anything yet besides that album
Yeah, besides that album. Yeah, it's the worst one of that by a lot.
by a long shot.
It's the worst of that by a lot.
By a long shot. World Needs Guts is probably my favorite song on that album, but I love Teenage Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's
It's
good.
good
It's a
stuff.
classic.
Good stuff.
That was your number 22, right?
It was. We're going to your number 22 now.
Number 22 is Along Came a Spider.
Okay.
This kind of classic. It's probably the closest sounding album to classic Alice Cooper, I feel. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why it ranks this high. It's a good album. It's a good album. I got it when it came out. I liked it then. I think I like it more now, hence my ranking, but solid. No complaints yet. Well, actually, all my complaints are out the window at this point because we're starting to get into the good shit. So
Yeah, good
that's
stuff.
22.
Good stuff. I'm pretty happy with everything here on out. Okay, well, I
Your
thought
number.
I was going to be controversial in this one being number 21, to be honest, but apparently not. I am now going to get to Dirty Diamonds. I hear a lot of people talk great about this album, and I thought you would have had it higher also. Woman of Mass Destruction. Come on, that's so corny. Jesus Christ. But I don't like it as much as everyone else. Apparently, I like it more than you. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
I love the song "Perfect."
Yeah,
That's
that's a great song.
That's him writing a John Lennon song. Him and John were so close. He totally wrote a John Lennon song on that. Crushed it. Perfect is such a goddamn good
Yeah.
song. That song's
Perfect
so
is a
good
great
it lifted it as high as probably it is on my ranking. That alone probably lifted it this high.
That's my favorite song on the album too.
Oh, by
Perfect.
far. It's so damn
It
good.
literally is a perfect song.
It is, man. And yeah, that alone probably lifted it. You
Yeah.
know, above the other stuff that's just kind of meh. That probably put it up there for me. And yeah, like I said, I really thought I was gonna be the controversial one, putting that way down at 20th, but I guess
Yeah.
not 22nd
Absolutely.
there. That's where I'd put it.
Yeah. So that's your 21. Yeah, my number 21. Everything
number
from here I
21.
love. 21's very surprising. I'm surprised I love this album as much as I do. My number 21 is more recent album, Road.
Okay.
I really like this album. I have no idea why. I think it's probably I've ranked it this high, so obviously it's my favorite of the more recent stuff.
Yep.
So post from Along Came a Spider to now, this is his most. I don't know. I would say it's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's my favorite album that he's done in a long time. I really like this album. Took me a while to get a copy of it because everyone's been sold out here in the Midwest. I know a
I,
couple people had that issue.
I pre-ordered it and got it the day before it came out.
I think I saw a post of that. Yeah, I mean it's a great album.
I was
I
out
mean
of town, but I did.
yeah, yeah, the guitar playing's on point. The songs are there. It's a bunch of really good songs. I mean, Alice Cooper still got it, man. What else can I say?
Hell yeah, he does. He's got it. He's still got it so much that Road is my number 20. And here it is.
Yeah,
We're right on track on that. Same, much the same on all that stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
Road's my number 20. Yeah, echo all that. All great. I like it. I love Dead Can Dance. That song.
Yeah.
Dead Don't Dance. Sorry, Dead Don't Dance.
Dead Don't Dance. Yeah.
Fucking rocking song, man. Great stuff. No more Frankenstein songs allowed. I wrote. There's another Frankenstein song in here. Please, Alice, no more Frankenstein songs. You get no more. No more. That's it. You're out. There's too many of those. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, most much the same. We're talking about Road at the same time. That's great. We're about the same place on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so number 20. Number 20 was my number 19. I made an executive decision again to flip it with my number 19. So basically my number 20 was my number 19. Now number 20 is Trash from 1989.
Okay.
I like this album. I like it more than I thought I was gonna like it. Because again, I have an issue with a lot of that 80s stuff, as Kenny knows.
Okay.
But there's some good songs on here, man. Poison is an all-time classic, obviously.
Sir.
I'm Your Gun. I'm Your Gun I like. And man, there's so many. I mean, so many songs to pick. But Poison, or not Poison. Trash is my number 20
Okay.
from 1989.
Very fair. I'll be getting to that later. I told you out of the newer ones, I didn't know. I had to go back and listen. And getting a big. Okay, we got 10 minutes. And then I got to switch things. My number 19 is going to be just above Road, so I'm doing Detroit Stories. This is where my Detroit Stories come from. I liked it just a little more than Road, just a little. I had a really tough time listening to them back to back on which one, to be honest. I like them more than the other stuff. But yeah, I got a cool Blu-ray with it that was live. This isn't a vinyl, but this is the CD box set. It even comes a little light that does the Eyes of Alice Cooper thing on it.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
But
I like
yeah,
that.
man. Detroit Stories. I like it a lot, actually. When this album came out, I thought it was really fun, and I just really liked it. And I like it a little more than Road, just barely, depending on the type of day I'm having, maybe the other one. But I like both of them more than everything that's happened so far that we've listed. I like those two new albums a lot. To put them in the right under the top 20 there, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Right. 20 and 19, as a matter of fact, they are in my top 20. There you go.
Yeah.
Right,
I think I ranked it low because
my top 20.
I think I ranked it low because I missed that album when it came out, so it passed me by literally.
And maybe mine's the opposite of that. Maybe mine, I like it so much because I caught it right when it came out, and I was so excited about a new Alice Cooper album, and I played it at work doing stuff and was having fun to it and stuff. And I like Road. I like Road. I find the Detroit Stories may not be as good, but the songs have a little more personality to them. I feel like they have a little more.
Yeah, I gotta go back and listen to it.
There's a little more differences in them. Not all of it's as good as some of the other stuff, but I like both of those more than everything else going that way. So
yeah,
that's what
I ranked it low, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. I like the album. So
sure.
We'll
do your 19, and then we'll probably switch meetings.
All right, number 19 was my number 20. It switched with Trash. My number 19 is Raise Your Fist and Yell, 1987.
Nice.
I like this album. Heavy metal, Alice Cooper. Chop, chop, chop. Freedom. I mean,
nice.
Yeah, I like it. I like this album all the way through. I think this is very Very solid Alice Cooper.
Well, let's just
I
get it over
love.
with. Let's get it over with together. My number 18 is Raise Your Fist and Yell.
It's a great album, man.
We're in the exact same place on this one. The
Yeah.
80 Harry stuff didn't stack well in my ranking, like I said. It's better than Constrictor for damn sure.
Oh, big time.
Prince of Darkness is cool. Time to Kill.
Yeah.
You know, Freedom's good. Rose's White Lace, all that stuff, you know. Yeah.
Kid Bringer plays on the album.
So yeah, I put this one right about the same place as you. I think we're like one spot different there, but yeah, I'm right at number 18 with that one. Yep.
Yeah.
So so far, I feel like we're kind of on point together here.
We're on point, yeah, with
I think
preferences
for the most part, except for a couple of mine that I know are lower than you. I know
one in particular.
I know that one's a lot lower. We got time if you want to sneak one in. Number 18.
All right, number 8. Yeah, number 18 is The Last Temptation from
Wow,
94.
Okay.
Last Temptation, yeah. You might think it's low. It's in the middle. It's bordering on really like it. I just think, yes, I do like it more than Raise Your Fist and Yell. I don't know. It's a solid Alice Cooper album. Lost in America was the big hit on here, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's the title track. I think the title track. Yeah, the title track. I mean, I like Last Temptation. Good album. That's my number 18.
Okay. That's a lot lower than mine.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. I'm gonna go number 17 right quick. Go number 17. Oh man. This one might be a little low, probably. I'm doing Brutal Planet. Yeah, at number 17 for me. I probably have this one lower than most people would, not because it's bad, but just everything past it I love more. I love this album. This is the one of those things where, you know, everything past this is great. You know, it's tagged as industrial. I don't really think it's as industrial as people kind of think it is. I think it's just fucking heavy and good. Sanctuary.
Groove metal-y, maybe?
Yeah, you know, man, Pick Up the Bones. Sanctuary, I like a lot. Take a, you know,
the title track. Oh,
it's a great album, man. It really is.
Yeah.
I do love it, but it's gonna be 17th.
More on that later.
17th. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take that one more a little later on.
Number
2000, year 2000. For some reason, I thought that one was more in the 90s than it was.
No, 2000.
I really thought it was. I was like, okay, well, interesting.
I don't remember
had a
when
different
that
point
came
to that one.
I remember when that one came out, but I'll get to that when we get to it. That's when I got into Alice Cooper through, not that era, but around that year.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out, but well, I'll explain it when we get to it. But yeah.
All good. All good.
Yep. How are we doing on time, Kenny?
You got 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and do your number 17.
So number 17, right off the bat, the album prior to Last Temptations, Hey Stupid.
Okay.
I really love this album. Feed My Frankenstein. There goes another Frankenstein song.
Too many of those.
That's an all-time classic, man. I don't care what anybody says. I love that song. The title track, Hey Stupid. You know, the whole connection to Wayne's World was, I think, right around this era.
Right.
When this album came out.
Right.
So, yeah, man, this is probably, let me look at my list. Yeah, this is definitely the best 90s Alice Cooper for my money. I love this album. That's my number 17. I do love Hey Stupid.
Okay.
I do.
That's one of those albums I swear to God I thought I bought and I didn't have. And it turns out I had did I do Dirty Diamonds? Yeah. I did not remember buying Dirty Diamonds. I swear I don't remember buying that album, but I have it. And I swear to God I had Hey Stupid and I don't. So I guess I got those two mixed somewhere along the way. I'm assuming in my head. Well, that's it. Okay, so we're gonna come back and we're gonna go from 16 on up. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna end it here. And you should see this all as one video, certainly one audio. We'll see.
Yep.
Recording in progress. Hey, all right, we're back. That's only my ears, not yours. Part 2 of this thing we're doing, which is ranking every Alice Cooper album. Hopefully I can edit this in one video. We will see. If not, welcome to part 2, the second video. I am armed this time with a chai latte, and everything's going fine.
Ah, it's so good right now. Sounds so
So
good.
good. So
I
good.
love
Chai
chai lattes.
latte is a good latte. All right. Like a
Yeah,
man.
chai latte is great. Hot or iced, doesn't matter.
Hot always. I only do hot coffee. I don't mess with anything cold. Anyway, number 16 is where I am, and you will soon be. My number
Yes.
16 was a lot lower for you, but it's okay for me. I'm going pretties for you. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Pink Floyd type stuff, and I love that. Like, uh, yeah, we're gonna say it's the Zappa era. Pretty fun stuff. Alice Cooper and him did a whole show for Zappa and like a bunch of people. I was actually doing for a bunch of record executives and stuff. And by the end of the show, Zappa said he was like him and one other guy was the only person still in the room. Everybody else had left, and he's like, based on that alone, I love him. And he went and told him, he said, "Hey, I tell you what, you guys be at my house at 7 tomorrow." And they showed up at his house at 7 a.m. He said, "What the fuck are y'all doing here?" Like, you said be here at 7. He's like, "At night. What the fuck?" He's like, "Look, good enough. You're
7
signed.
a.m.
You're signed. I'll see you tomorrow. You're good." So he signed him just on that alone.
That's
And that's
funny.
why we got Alice Cooper. Awesome stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank. As always. Yeah, it's a cool album, man. What can you say?
Yeah, I only ranked it low because when it comes to classic Cooper, well, you'll see why. But
Yep. Well,
I like it. I like Pretties for You.
What's
I
number
don't dislike it
16?
like most people.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, no. A lot of people don't like that album at all, and I think they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. So my number 16, we're going to my beloved Blackout era, or should I say our beloved Blackout years. I don't know about you, but the Blackout period, I consider 4 albums, not 3.
Yeah.
We'll get to the fourth one is up there for me, but we'll get to that.
Yep.
My least favorite by far, you already mentioned, is Zipper Catches Skin. That's my number 16.
Yeah.
I like this album a lot more than you do, but I don't know. It's a timing thing. It's very personal. I love the Blackout period.
Yes.
Like I said, easily his worst from that era, but I still love it. Zoro Susen, Unlike You, I love that track.
It's so
Make
bad.
that money, and the future, No Baloney Homo Sapien is so weird, but it's charming. I like Girls. It's all right, Tag Your It is pretty cool. And Remarkably Insincere. Catchy.
Yeah.
I like this album. I like Zipper Catches Skin, but it's easily the worst from the Blackout years. That's my number 16.
Very fair. Well, now we're in the coveted number top 15.
Yes.
Top 15 we are. My top 15 will be rounded out, which I don't have it, but I'm going with Dragon Town. Hadn't noticed you hadn't said it yet, so that's good. This was the first of my surprise albums. When I went back and listened to everything again, this one was one of those ones where I was like, wow, it benefited from me revisiting it. I can tell you that much. I find it to be a better Brutal Planet. That's how I would explain it. I think it does what Brutal Planet does, but a little bit better to me. It's his heaviest. I think this is the heaviest Cooper album by far. Talking about heavy metal Coop, man. This is heavy. Trigger Man's awesome. Disgraceland is kind of dumb because who would care about Elvis in 2003? Like, what was he doing there? Otherwise, though, it's 15th, but it's good. I liked it a lot, and coming back to it helped a lot, I think.
Yeah, the sister album to Brutal Planet. It's a package deal, but more on those two later.
Yeah.
My number 15, classic Coop once again. The follow-up to Pretties for You, Easy Action, is my number 15. I love this album. I really love this album, but I love 14 others much more. Mr. Misdemeanor, Hugh Salesman, Return of the Spiders, Refrigerator Heaven. I mean, I love this album. I love Easy Action.
I tell you what,
this is
go ahead.
Step up from Pretties for You by far. Yeah, there you go.
You read my mind once more.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix of Pretty Psych and the beginning of them finding their sound. Mr. and Misdemeanor to me is the first true Alice Cooper song, isn't it? Like that's where you
Yeah.
finally get that. But then the rest of the album kind of doesn't go back to it. You're like, oh, almost there.
It's so good though.
Cool story. This record, the record itself inside is actually a copy of Killer because they misprinted it. So the
Oh,
record
really?
that's pressed on this is actually Killer. More on that later. But
More
yeah,
on Killer later. Exactly. Don't go anywhere.
but yeah, same. Easy Action is my number 14. And like I said, it's just kind of a mix of both. Mr. and Misdemeanors, where you get that Alice Cooper sound starting to happen. They're not quite there yet. It's definitely better than Pretty's. Yeah, they're kind of starting to find their way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is an album that I wasn't too hot on when I was younger, but now after doing this ranking and all these years later, I love it, man. I love Easy Action more and more as the days go by. I love it. I love that album. Easy Action. So number 14,
For you, yes.
Lace and Whiskey. Lace and Whiskey, man.
Okay.
Lace and Whiskey. I love this record, man. It's Hot Tonight. The title track's pretty cool. Road Rats. What a great song, man. You and Me is one of his greatest ballads.
Okay, that's the one you were saying. Okay.
You and Me is amazing, man.
I know you were telling me about a ballad on one of the albums, and I couldn't figure out which one it was.
Yeah. No, there's another one coming up from an album that I can't listen to. I love the song, but I can't listen to. But more on that later. You and Me is one of the greatest Alice Cooper ballads by far, man. The rest of the album, side 2 is definitely a little weaker than side 1, but it's still really good. I love Lace and Whiskey. This period's really weird.
Yeah,
but I love Lace and Whiskey.
It's a weird ass album.
I love Lace and Whiskey.
There's a different song on Lace and Whiskey that lifted it way high for me. So we're not getting there for a while.
If it's King of the Silver Screen, that
nope.
might. No?
Nope.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that.
That's 14 for me. You're number 13?
Number 13. Here's where I got one a lot higher than you did. Whoops, knocked it down. Now is where I get to trash. Man, this one's so good to me. By the way, weird. I got a Yugoslavian promo copy of this record. It's from Yugoslavia.
That's pretty
How
cool.
weird is that shit? And I got it for like less than $10 on eBay. Like, what? That's a great copy. And this thing's usually expensive.
That's a clean copy too, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very, very good.
Very clean copy. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the 80s stuff didn't rank that well, except for this one. I love this one. Poison, Spark in the Dark. And to me, this out of the hairy stuff, I like this one the most. I love Trash. I really think it's great.
Yeah.
Not the best of the 90s. I mean, well, no, it's 80s. Anyway, you say 90s earlier, but I know. Yeah, I love this album. I really do. Special thing to me.
Yeah.
Poison, man, fucking right. House of Fire is great.
House of Fire rules.
Yeah. I like
I'm
Trash,
Your Gun.
man. Yeah, man. I got it a little higher than you do, and that's a great album.
It's a solid album. I love it. It's in my top 20. So
it'll be 13 for me.
Number 13. You've Gotta Go to Hell. Go to Hell. The only reason it's up there for me is that title track is one of the greatest Alice Cooper songs ever.
Okay.
Heavy fucking track, man. That song, Go to Hell, bumped this album up for me. The rest, I honestly could give a rat's ass about it. I Never Cry is good. You Gotta Dance is okay. Everything else, Guilty's cool.
I love Guilty.
But yeah, Guilty's cool. Guilty's cool. But man, Go to Hell is the song. Go to Hell. Forget about it. One of the heaviest Alice Cooper tracks from a very disco-y album. That's my number 13. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell.
Okay. Number 12. This is my other surprise album. This one climbed a lot from revisiting it. The first time I went through all this stuff a lot was like what I was doing. I made a playlist of my favorite song from every album. Boy, I wish I still had that, but I don't. But this one benefited me from listening to it all again. So this is Muscle of Love at number 12. Man, what a fun little album. When I listened to it for favorite songs, it didn't stand out. But when I was thinking of it in the context of like best albums, it went a lot higher than I thought it would. Uh, oh man, yeah. The first album, what is it? Big Apple, all that stuff. I don't have all the songs
Big
on
Apple
me.
Dreamin',
Yeah,
Hippo.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Working up a sweat.
Sweat's great. I thought I wrote a Big Apple. There you go. Working up a sweat. Yeah, those are the ones I wrote down. So there you go. Can't read
Yeah.
can't read my notes sometimes. Y'all know me, but yeah, that
Teenage
album,
Lament 74.
it surprised me when I went back to it, man. It really did.
Yeah.
When I first kind of listened to it, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but it was just kind of whatever. I was just listening to it throughout the day, but having to think of it in like album wise, like man, it really went high.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
More on that later.
Yep.
My number 12 you already mentioned is Dragon Town.
Okay,
Heavy,
that's pretty high.
heavy album.
Pretty high.
I love this album, man. Trigger Man, the title track, Sex, Death, and Money, Fantasy Man, Sister Sarah. Oh my God. I don't really dislike any song on this album, but those are the ones that stick out
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. That's
I
heavy
love
as
this
hell,
record,
man.
man.
Heavy as
It's
hell.
a heavy album. I love Dragon Town. This was actually lower a few years ago on my list, but it got higher because, like you said, going back to these albums, this one really surprised me.
Yeah.
You know, Dragon Town is amazing. I love this album.
Yeah.
That's my number 12.
Yeah. When I went back to it, I was like, man, I like it more than Brutal. It was just me.
Yeah.
My number 11, just outside of top 10. You had already mentioned, I don't have it, is Hey Stupid. It goes up to number 11 for me. Again,
Wow, that's surprising.
I kind of lump it with the hair era, even though it's 1991. It still kind of feels like it. But the only good Frankenstein songs on here, Love's a Loaded Gun. It's just outside of the top 10. I like it a little more than Trash. I like it a little more than Trash. Just that classic stuff, It's just good Alice Cooper, man. It kind of feels like the best hair era, even though it's kind of just past that. But Hey Stupid,
pretty heavy too.
Yeah, great guitar solos on there and all, and I like it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty high up.
Yeah. That's your number 12. That's your number 11. Sorry.
That's 11. We are now. Oh, you're going 11. Yes.
My number 11. This did not make the top 10, but for a lot of people is in their top 5. For a lot of people that I know is their number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My number 11 is Welcome to My Nightmare.
Oh, wow. That's low.
Welcome to My Nightmare. I love this record. This is a 10 out of 10, but my top 10 are special. Notice I haven't mentioned a few albums, but
yeah.
There's some albums that came after this that mean a lot more to me, but the title track, Devil's Food, The Black Widow, Only Women Bleed. That's the one song that I've talked about it on Facebook for a little bit of for a few times. My sister, rest in peace. She was the victim of domestic abuse. So was my mother, and that's a song that really hits home for me. So
yes, sir.
It was a huge hit, but it's a great song nonetheless. Department of Youth, Cold Ethel, years ago, Steven, The Awakening, Escape. Not a skipper on here, man.
No.
11 tracks.
Perfection.
It's a perfect fucking album. Perfection. The first perfect Alice Cooper album on my list. That's number 11. Imagine what I'm about to pick. This is the first one that's perfect. This is the first one that's perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I get to that one.
Yeah.
Got a lot of records on my side still. My number 10. We are now top 10. How's my battery doing? Woo! Battery, are you okay? Oh, we're doing great.
Okay, good.
I'm an idiot. I didn't plug my laptop in. Laptop batteries last. So my top 10 begins with Lace and Whiskey. That's where it's going to come in at.
Great album.
It's weird, different out of the classic era. I never wrote those songs. That's my jam on here. Oh, what the fuck, man? Oh, man. I never wrote those songs. Fuck. God, that song crushed it on him like that. It was weird because, like I was telling you, the fuck does that mean? I was telling you, like, it gets to a weird point of trying to compare these albums. And you're like, you got to compare weird shit, to kind of rank it. I'm like, I'm going with Hey Stupid and Lace and Whiskey back to back to see which one I like more. And it's so bizarre to even go from those two
Lace and
back to
Whiskey by
back.
far.
Yeah, definitely.
Lace and Whiskey by far.
Definitely.
I
But,
love
for
Hey
me, but
Stupid, but
Hey Stupid kind of goes back, and it's 1990, and that's kind of
yeah,
where I am. So it meant a
yeah,
lot to me. And it's kind of weird. But yeah, Lace and Whiskey is just such a fun album. It's so fucking weird. But
yeah.
yeah, I never wrote those songs. Cool. That pushed it
Great song.
way up. So it's so much
Yeah,
so it got to the top 10.
it's a great album. Solid. I
Great
do love
album.
Lace and Whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Great album. My number 10, my third favorite album from the Blackout years. This is probably gonna be a little higher for you. Dada.
Oh,
Dada, for a lot of people who don't know, this album fucking rules, man.
a lot higher.
Oh my god, the title track, Enough's Enough, former Lee Warner, No Man's Land, Scarlet and Sheba. I Love America is one of the funniest fucking songs I've ever listened to in my life.
Yes, sir.
Rush Blood, Pass the Gun Around. Yeah,
Yep.
man. That Pass the Gun Around alone pushed it into the top 10 spot, man. That's the one song on this album that knocked Welcome to My Nightmare off my top 10. I
Yeah.
love Pass the Gun Around, man. Oh my
fuck
god.
it. Great. One of the great guitar solos of all time.
Yeah, man. Pass the Gun Around. Top 10 Alice Cooper album. I like it better than Welcome to My Nightmare. Sue me. That's my number 10. Dada. Love it. Love it.
We'll get to that after a while.
Yeah.
9. I feel like you're going to have this one way higher than me. For sure.
9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
We do this every time. Number 9 is where I'm going to put Flush to Fashion. Jose's going to have it way high. This is a straight classic. Straight classic. You hear me? Labeled as new wave. If it is, this is new wave done right. Y'all know I'm not a fan of that shit. This is amazing. Talk, Clones, Pain, Grim Facts. Oh. Right before the Blackout. I know you're going to consider this part of it. And I agree if that's what you were going to say. We'll get to there. But
well, let's get it out of the way. My number 9 is Flush to Fashion.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you'd have had it higher, to be honest.
No, we agree. We're in sync with this shit. And mind you, for people who are listening, we didn't compare notes.
No.
We're doing this off rip. So I'm surprised that we both have it this is the first one we have in the same spot. This is my number 9 too, Flush to Fashion.
Yeah. The others have been very, very close so far. I think we're right on this. We're a lot closer than I thought we would be.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, this is the first.
It's a perfect album, man. It's a perfect album.
Yeah,
it really is great. Oh my god, this album's so good. He's looking
Pain
rough.
is one of his
I think you're right to say this is part of Blackout because look at him. I mean,
Yeah,
you're right. You're dead on right. The Blackout does not include this, but trust me, it is.
Yeah,
he's already doing rough, man.
This flips back and forth with another one for my favorite Blackout period album, but for now, it's my second favorite. There's one more left.
There you go. There you go.
That's your number. That was my number 9. Your number 8.
My number 8 now is where I get to The Last Temptation. I love this so much. I got the musical and vinyl version because their stuff always sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my original run through the whole discography, this one came out high, and it still is. Lost in America is my second favorite Alice Cooper song ever. I love Lost in America.
Really?
Oh, that song is so badass, dude. I love Lost America.
I'm gonna argue it.
Job. That song's just so goofy. I love that shit.
Great song. It's a great song. I love that song.
You got some Chris Cornell on here, and even though he is,
man.
Thank you, Alice Cooper, for not going grunge. I don't feel like he did. The 90s he could have and didn't. He didn't pull a Metallica and give us that kind of shit. He gave us a kick-ass album in 1994. Thank you, Alice.
Soundgarden to me is a metal band, but I digress.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but
I love Soundgarden.
Yeah, Chris Cornell's on there. They got a bunch of great stuff on here, man.
Yeah.
Stolen Prayer.
Yeah.
You know my
love for Soundgarden. So
you could say that Alice Cooper chase trends throughout the years to kind of stay relevant and stuff, and like a lot of older bands do, and he did. But I feel like The Last Temptation is one of those ones where he just fucking nailed it. He totally nailed it. It's just such a great album. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Last
it.
Temptation's good.
It was the surprise album the first time I went through all the discography way back. It was the one that surprised me then. I'm like, wow, I love this record. I had to go
It's
buy a
solid.
really nice copy of it.
It's a very solid album. I agree. Lost in America rules though.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
great song.
Lost in America. Love Lost in America. That's so fun. So it's number 8 for me.
Number 8. Number 8. No.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Brutal Planet.
All right.
Brutal Planet's my number 8. Yeah, his best
That's definitely
modern
fair.
era.
Yeah,
Modern
definitely
era
fair.
album, man. So I mentioned this was around the year I got into Alice Cooper. This wasn't my first Alice Cooper album. My very first Alice Cooper album is ranked much higher, spoiler alert. But I remember when this came out,
imagine.
I got it after I got into Alice Cooper. A friend of mine put me on to the first album, which I'll get to it when I get to it. But Brutal Planet was the first one where I remember vividly buying it with my own money. The Brutal Planet video got me. I mean, I went out and bought it. Title track rules, Wicked Young Man, Sanctuary, Blow Me a Kiss, Pick Up the Bones, Eat Some More. Gimme was the big hit on here. It's still pretty good. It's the little things. Old Machines, I love every song on here, man. That's my number 8. Brutal Planet.
Very fair.
Love this record.
Very fair pick. All right. Well, number 7 is where we start to really dig into the Blackouts. And this is where he's really watching stuff from this era is really hard because he's really doing bad. But this is where I'm gonna put Special Forces.
That's my number 7 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the hardest stuff to watch. He looks like absolute death at this point. But God, is it so good. This is where this is where you get great stuff, man. The first time I listened to this stuff, this is when I was first getting through the Blackout. I ordered this copy of this record, and it was fucking amazing, man. Wow, this album.
The greatest Blackout era Alice album, period.
Don't Talk Old to Me. You Look Good in Rags.
You Look Good in Rags, yeah. There's only one song I don't like on this album. Kinda.
Yeah.
You Want It, You Got It.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only one. But Generation Landslide, it's pretty decent cover. I like
a redo. Yeah.
It's a redo, yeah. It's a remake. I love every song on here though, for the most part. That's my number 7 too. 7, right? Yeah, man.
That's number 7.
The best Blackout era Alice Cooper. It's a special album. I knew it was gonna be up there for you, but I was like, where's it gonna be? And I'm very shocked that it's the same.
Right in the exact same spot.
You can't make this shit up, man. We did not compare notes. It just so happens we have it in the same.
I'm quite surprised so far.
Yeah. It's I love it.
I think it just speaks to the music, man. It's just undeniable stuff, man,
Yeah, man. I love Special Forces. It's great. I love it. You're number 6?
6. I'm going way back, but love it to death. It's number 6. This is the birth of the Alice Cooper sound. Ballad of Dwight Fry. Definitely my favorite song, of course. Favorite Alice Cooper song, undeniable. Should be most everyone's favorite.
Which one? Ballad of Dwight Fry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song.
My favorite. 18 is fucking epic. It's My Body. All-time classic. Just slightly outside of my top 5. So like you said earlier, it's exactly what I wrote here too. This is just outside my top 5. So imagine how badass my top 5 is.
Yeah, man.
I wrote that exact same thing down in my notes too. Imagine what we got coming. Yeah, love it to death, man. This is the birth of Alice Cooper, man. We've gotten out of the Zappa era at that point, and that's where they really nail it. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Alice
the rest
Cooper,
is history from that
Alice
point on.
Cooper is born.
Yeah. One of the greatest albums ever, period. More on that later.
Yes, sir.
My number 6 is easily, for me, the greatest solo Alice Cooper record. It has been since day one, since I first heard this record. It's a damn shame you ranked it solo on your list. My number 6 is From the Inside, man.
Okay.
From the Inside is such a special album to me, man.
It's
For
really
fun
great.
fact, so Davy Johnstone from the Elton John band plays on this, and so does Dee Murray from the original. Elton John, for a lot of people, so Paul McCartney is my all-time favorite singer. My number 2 favorite singer of all time is Elton John.
Yes, sir.
I'm a huge Elton John fan. Huge. Bernie Taupin, of course, writes lyrics on this
I'm about
album.
to say Bernie Taupin wrote on that.
Yeah, he wrote all this stuff. I mean,
and that's
this
why,
to me,
and that's why with all that put together, I'm like, I don't get it though. It just does not work for me.
Yeah, I love Elton John, man, and this has a huge Elton John flavor all over it, man.
I just
how you gonna see me now as one of the greatest Alice Cooper ballads? I said that for you and me, but this is up there for me, man. Serious, Nurse Rosetta,
no
the title track.
Great.
Jackknife Johnny, For Veronica's Sake, Inmates Were All yeah, man. This is a 15 out of 10. This is beyond perfect.
Yep.
From the Inside is the best for me Alice Cooper solo album.
Okay.
You know what's coming with the top 5 when I say this is the best solo. So
yep,
it's all uphill from here.
There you go.
That's my number 6. Your number 5. Top 5.
Top 5.
Top
Mine.
5.
This is where this guy comes in. It was just Halloween, and I listen to this every Halloween without fail, and that is Welcome to My Nightmare, the proper one. Top 5, just outside the top 5, just at the bottom of the top 5, but it is top 5 as it should be. Like you said, probably most people's number 1, to be honest. This is good theatrical Alice Cooper, man. This is where you get the theater and the fucking Vincent Price,
the Broadway,
and the first
Vincent
album,
Price, yeah,
the first album right outside of the Alice Cooper band, and all the songs you listed, man, Widow and Only Women Bleed and Cold Ethel, and it's just such an important album to the history of rock itself. All-time fucking classic, undeniable to people that don't even like Alice Cooper. It's just legend, pure legend.
Welcome to My Nightmare is amazing. It's a perfect
Welcome
album.
to My Nightmare. It just is what it is, man. It's all-time pillar of rock music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pure greatness.
Absolutely. One of the greatest concept albums ever, period. Top 5, man. Number 5. What are you gonna do? Tell me what I'm gonna do. Why don't you get away? Holy muscle of love. Muscle of love, all right. Man. Muscle of Love is my number 5, man. Working up a sweat.
Yeah.
I love this record. Man with the Golden Gun is still
that's good.
Great song. The dark horse on here, I gotta say, the song that surprised me was Hard Hearted Alice.
Yeah, Hard Hearted Alice. I love that one.
That's a great song. Crazy Little Child is very jazzy, but it's so good, man. Alice Cooper doing jazz, the Alice Cooper Band. The last hurrah for Alice Cooper Band, but man, I love it more and more as the years go by. Muscle of Love.
Yeah.
That's my number 5.
Okay.
With good reason.
Yes, sir. Big time. Huge. You said you like this album just a little bit more than Welcome to My Nightmare. And I like this album just a little bit more than Welcome to My Nightmare for my top 5. So this is where the legendary, great, very hard to find on vinyl, by the way, Dada comes in.
Very hard to find. Very hard to find. Very hard to find.
Was not cheap. I implore you guys all to check out the Decibel Geek episode. Originally was number 93. They redid it for 465. They did an interview with Dick Wagner, and they talked nothing about but the history of this album. So the album's unleashed on Dada. Look, man, they don't need my help because they're an amazing podcast and everybody knows it. But go check out Decibel Geeks. Albums Unleashed on Dada with Dick Wagner. It's unbelievable. He tells you all kinds of cool stories.
Yeah. Dropped a
what
lot
can
of
you
gems
say?
on
Every
episode.
song on here that we listed, Scarlet and Sheba, everything. Pass the gun around. Oh my God. It's one of those albums that it's his best album that no one knows for sure. Just all out masterpiece,
I love Special Forces more, but Dada's amazing, man.
Nah, I gotta go Dada all the way. Formerly Warner. He was talking about they made that formerly Warmer because they were just leaving Warner Brothers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool stories, but
yeah.
He said they were on this when they weren't trying to write any hits because they were about to be leaving Warner Brothers, so they weren't really writing for hits. They were just writing songs that were just gonna be great, and that's exactly what they did. Dick Wagner wrote a lot of that album with him because obviously Alice isn't doing the best. So a lot of this is written by Dick Wagner's damn near Dick Wagner fucking solo album with Alice Cooper in it. And man,
Oh, it's
is
so
it
good.
fucking good?
So good. So good.
Man, is it fucking good? If you don't know who Dick Wagner is, he's a guitar player that was a hired gun for a lot of bands, and you've heard him on a lot of stuff that he is
Yeah.
listed as. Um,
With
a lot,
Aerosmith too,
I'm
right?
about to say a lot of Aerosmith that you think is Joe
Yeah.
Perry ain't Joe Perry. It's
Or
Dick
Brad
Wagner.
Whitford. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
him. It's Dick
that's
Wagner.
Dick Wagner playing all that because they were all too fucked up to do anything. So he came in and did the job almost every time.
Like Train kept rolling. That soul is all Dick Wagner. That
Yep.
shit is
He
that's just
was Ezrin's guy,
bombastic.
man. He's just the you
Yeah.
need a killer solo done right now. You get him in there, he's gonna kill it.
Coked out Aerosmith and alcoholic, drug infested Alice Cooper is good shit.
Yes, sir.
You're missing out if you don't listen. Number 4, man. Number 4, School's Out.
Oh,
School's Out, man. Whew.
that's a very fair ranking.
The title track is an all-time classic, obviously, but Looney Tune, man. Gutter Cat versus the Jets. Blue Turk. My favorite song on the album since day one, My Stars.
Yep.
My Stars is my jam on here. Public Animal number 9, Alma Mater, and grand finale. Oh, I forgot to mention Street Fight as well. Good instrument. It's solid, little
Yep.
short instrumental. Not a skip on this record for me. School's Out. Love this record. That's my number 4.
Awesome.
Back number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me, I know a lot about for you, but now I'm gonna put $1 Billion Babies on at my number 3. I know. Everyone's number 1 probably, but rightfully so. For me, this is number 3. No More Mr. Nice Guy, Generation, Love the Dead is as classic as it gets. There's only 2 more albums that I love more personally. Just it's great. Every second's perfect, but every second's perfect on everything from here on. So
Yeah.
just for me personally, it's number 3.
Yeah. That's your number 3?
Yep.
3, right?
Yep.
Number 3. I'm in the middle without any plans. I'm a boy and I'm a man. I'm 18. Love It to Death, man. Love It to Death is my number 3.
Good.
Isn't My Body is hands down the best song on this record for me.
Okay.
That song crushes, man.
Yeah.
Caught in the
Fuck yeah.
Dream.
Fuck
Caught
yeah,
in a
dude.
Dream, bro. Every song on here. Oh, Dwight Fry is a masterpiece.
It is.
Hallowed Be My Name. Caught in a Dream. I'm 18 is an all. I never get sick of I'm 18. Long way to
No,
go.
never.
Black Juju.
Never get
Gonna
old.
Rise.
Yeah.
Gonna Rise is like the dark horse on here, in my opinion. Second Coming. I mean, every song. 9 songs to pick from. They're all fucking great, but Isn't My Body is my number 1 cut on here.
There
It's
you
in my top. It's in my top 5 Alice Cooper songs without a doubt. Not
Alright.
sure where, but
go.
it's always. It's
That's
always,
another show.
Yeah, it's always fighting for
Doing
that top
anytime
spot.
soon.
It's always fighting for that top spot, but it's in the conversation for my favorite Alice Cooper song ever. I love that song though.
We got 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can do this in one video. My number 2, you have already mentioned, but you know this one's special to me, and this is where School's Out comes out for me. It's such a weird album. It's such a mix of like theatrical mixed with the like classic Alice Cooper. Like I traded Led Zeppelin for this in a funny group, and ever
Which
since
one?
then, this is the album that sent me down like the rabbit hole of I'm gonna collect every Alice Cooper album. This is why I have 20 fucking other Alice Cooper records besides me. God, this album's so great, man.
Yeah.
Gutter Cat versus the Jets is my favorite on here. I
Great
did a whole
song.
episode on this, so you can go listen to that.
Yeah. That's number 2. She struts into the room, but I don't know her. Be My Lover.
Yeah.
Number 2's Killer for me, man.
Okay.
Killer. Under My Wheels. Be My Lover. Halo Flies. Desperado. Oh my God. You Can Be My Slave and I'll Be a Stranger. Oh,
Yep.
that is my. It's either that or Be My Lover for my favorite song. I love every song on here.
Yep.
Killer is fucking killer. It's my number 2.
I knew we were gonna just transpose these two because of course my number 1, the only one, is definitely Killer. And the record in here is the copy of Easy Action because I got the other misprint and I went and bought them on purpose. I got this one at a mall and I'm like, well, in that case, I got to go get the other misprint. And I had to order it off of Amazon. So I had to buy the Easy Action one and hope to hear Killer on it. So I put it on there and I'm like, I'm the only person on its own is like, please let me get a misprint. Everyone else was sending them back. I'm like, no, don't send them back. They're cool. Buy them on purpose. Buy the other one.
Killer, man.
So yeah, from the first minute of the telephone is ringing. Fuck, man. Perfection. Musical perfection. There's not a second on here that isn't fantastic.
Yeah.
This album kicks your fucking ass from top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's only 37 minutes, so it gets in and out quick, punches you right in the fucking face. Man, I just beginning to end, dude. Desperado, Be My Lover, Halo, You Drive Me Nervous, Dead Babies, Killer, everything. Every goddamn thing on this album just destroys, man. Every fucking second of this album destroys, and it just crushes, dude. One of my probably my favorite album on most days. I don't know. I have a hard time picking a favorite album because I don't make any sense. But this would definitely be one of them for sure.
It's a great album, but it's only number 2 because there's one album that's better, and we all know what it is. Hold that album up for me.
Oh, we'll get you back here because I know yours is.
I've got no friends because they read the papers. That can't be seen. Yeah, man. $1 Billion Babies from the first minute. From the very first time I heard One More Mr. Nice Guy. That was my very first Alice Cooper song. Fell in love. I never get sick of No More Mr. Nice Guy. Hello Hooray, which a lot of times is my all-time favorite Alice Cooper song. Hello Hooray. It's a very weird, great track. Raped and Freezing.
Yep.
Elected, $1 Billion Babies, Unfinished Suite. Sick things. I love The Dead. Mary Ann's cool too.
Love the Dead.
Love the Dead. $1 Billion Babies. Fun fact: this is one of Chris Cornell's favorite albums of all time. Rest in peace to Chris Cornell. I love Chris, but this $1 Billion Babies, man, that's my number one. It was always going to be number one.
Can't go wrong with either one of these. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
I just
Killer would be number one, but
I just like the pacing on this one because it just never lets you breathe. This album just totally comes out crushing and it leaves you crushing and just never stops kicking your fucking ass, man.
I'm not mad at anyone who says Killer is better. I love Killer. It's my number 2, but $1 Billion Babies is where I came in. And number 1 with good reason. I love that album so much. The Alice Cooper album to get, in my opinion.
Yeah. God damn it. I didn't pay all this money on this final to not show this one off. Bam!
Yes, the dollar bill.
I got it.
The $1 billion bill. Yes.
I had to wait. On the eBay bids to make sure I got the copy that had this in it, but I did.
That's amazing.
I got the $1 billion bill. Thank you very much.
$1 billion bill.
I'm not doing this damn video without pulling that out. Oh, I also got I got the trading cards. The little perforated little cards and stuff. I didn't have time. My Lace and Whiskey has a thing where you can join a fan club.
Yeah. Now you just got to get the pennies so it goes out.
That's the only one, man. That's hard to get. I didn't do that. That's a lot of money.
So hard to get.
I'm a little cheap on that, but the sleeve itself's in shit shape, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh,
I got the $1 billion. It's all that mattered to me.
Exactly. Best Alice Cooper album for me, hands down.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't disagree or argue that. It is what it is. There you go. We got less than a minute left. This thing's gonna die. Thank you so much, Jose. I appreciate you. This was an amazing.
Thank you for having me.
This was
Alice Cooper rules.
So cool. And we got where do you put this? You like this one?
I like
think of it. I like it too.